So, let me ask you a serious question. If I offered you £10,000 to spend just one night entirely alone with this doll, would you do it? Now, you might be thinking, absolutely, that's easy money. And honestly, most people would probably laugh it off. Well, at least until they realize what they're actually looking at. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that this isn't the terrifying movie version you've probably seen in theaters. No, this right here is the real Annabelle. It's literally just a simple, surprisingly ordinary, vintage cloth Raggedy Ann doll. But here's the thing, this unassuming little toy is considered so deeply unsettling that paranormal investigators chose not to destroy it, but to lock it away securely. So what actually happened to warrant that? To find out, we're officially opening up the vault. I want you to step into the dark with me for a second. Just picture a quiet, dimly lit museum. You've got dust particles drifting through the candlelight, and sitting right in the center of the room is a single, isolated glass case. Accessing archive. File number 007. Status, open. Let's move to and see how this builds, because long before any of those massive Hollywood adaptations, there was really just this cloth doll. Back in the 1970s, it was given as a completely innocent gift to a nursing student, but just weeks later, the whole vibe in her apartment started to shift. The doll would inexplicably appear in totally different rooms. Soon after that, cryptic handwritten notes allegedly started manifesting out of thin air. And finally, the whole situation escalated into some truly frightening encounters reportedly experienced by both the residents and their visitors. Now, whether these events happened exactly as they were described is definitely still debated, but man, did those stories spread like wildfire? Eventually, all these escalating reports reached paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren. And when they examined the case, well, they definitely didn't treat it like some harmless toy. They actually believed the artifact was connected to something genuinely dangerous. So they placed it inside this specially prepared locked glass case, and they mounted a stark, unmistakable warning right on the front of it. Positively do not open. I mean, you really have to ask yourself, why would anyone go to those lengths and put such an intense warning on a simple cloth doll?
Well, the stories absolutely didn't end once that glass door was locked. Over the years, redacted case files and visitor accounts have detailed what allegedly happens when that stark warning is ignored. People who actually mocked the doll reported sudden, unexplained misfortune in their lives. Others described these deep, incredibly unsettling feelings of dread just by standing near the glass. There are even circulating accounts of terrifying mechanical failures with vehicles right after people left the museum. And while these are, of course, highly circulated urban legends that haven't been universally verified, they heavily amplified Annabelle's dark, mysterious reputation.
So what does this all mean? What are we actually dealing with here? Well, we're really left with two conflicting theories. On one hand, you have believers who are absolutely convinced that this is a genuinely haunted artifact, harboring some real, tangible danger. But on the other hand, skeptics and psychologists suggest it's basically a textbook case of fear and psychological suggestion. You know, when people expect to feel terrified, their minds just kind of make it a reality. You add in repeated retellings over decades, and the myth amplifies exponentially. Today, Annabelle is this massive modern legend, one that is way, way larger than that original 1970s case.
But I want you to imagine walking through that quiet museum today. You stop right in front of that dimly lit glass case. Inside, a small cloth doll is just staring back at you, sitting quietly behind that "Do Not Open" sign. Ask yourself right now, would you walk away? Or would curiosity get the better of you?
You know, some mysteries survive simply because no one can explain them. Others survive because we just can't stop talking about them. The line between a powerful psychological phenomenon and the truly unexplained is razor thin in this explainer. And until we can fully separate the two, File 007 remains open. Until our next investigation into the Enigma files, stay curious.